All right, people, let's try this again. Welcome back. So to continue that thought, I'm going to delay by an hour. It's just 3 hours. I'm going to be sitting here at the airport. Anyway, so getting back to zero. Some people look at it as a pretense after you're a certain age, after you're out of the house, after you're out of school, after you're, on into life, after you have kids, whatever the case may be, that there's a certain point where you should not be starting over again. How you back at square one? How you back at zero? I was having a conversation with a young man, client I was telling you about, and I tell him, what's wrong with getting down to zero? Because what comes with getting down to zero is having everything mean nothing, letting go of all the meaning that we attach to things after we have life experiences. Oh, something was difficult. It's a challenge. It's going to be hard. So every time you look at it, you're going to look at it with that filter. It's hard. It's a challenge. This is going to take a lot of work. This is going to take a lot of time. You put it off. It affects your impact. Getting back to zero in relationships, getting back to zero in developing yourself, getting back to zero in life is a highly beneficial thing that we should all be able to practice, that we should all be willing to practice on a regular basis. The thing is, you have to be willing to look bad. You have to be willing to start over. You have to be willing to die as you live. As once said by one of my favorite mentors, Wayne Dyer. You got to let go of whatever you attach to. Whatever you attach to looking good, being good at, performing a certain way, having a certain lifestyle, whatever that means, certain luxury, certain whatever. To go back to zero, to take your aptitude, your competence, your performance, and start back at zero in whatever area it is, that is a challenging thing to do. Because you have to think, your identity is at stake. Being embarrassed is at stake. Your reputation is at stake. Your honor is at stake. It can go pretty deep depending on how your character lets it be. But what if you get back to zero and literally get back to zero? Let that mean nothing. What's possible then? So anyway, I'm in a place in life right now where I'm finding myself at new levels, at new heights, but I've brought an old mindset, an old program, an old mentality. And as I'm in this transition to really gear things up at a higher level of performance, I'm realizing why I'm bored, why I'm stagnant, why I'm not stimulated, why I'm not creating, why I'm not inspired, motivated, why I'm just getting by my standards. I like to be a high performer. So with that, I wanted to pass on to encourage anyone else that may be having a hard time. Maybe you're hitting your head against the wall. Maybe you don't know what to do next. One area I can share from example is with my weight loss. The target was 100 pounds in 1 year. That year came and went. I lost 60 plus pounds. And guess what? That's not 100. And guess what? I'm still developing. But I have to go back to zero. You remember the 7-day fast, water fast? Now I'm actually doing ketosis, which kind of was a natural transition from intermittent fasting and all the 7-day long-term fasting I was doing. But the whole thing, going back to zero, not being afraid to start over, stop what I'm doing that wasn't working, being ineffective, cut that out, and go on and try something that may work. But where in your life, take a look, where in your life have you not been